know, art to be driven by art and not anything else.
A lot of people play the game and they don't want to knock the nose out of the labels.
Yeah.
Don't say anything, don't say anything. But you just came out and said it.
I'm one of those people, I'm all or nothing. So when we're on the road, I can't really write. Music is a business. It's called the music business for a reason, isn't it? But that's the side of things that I just don't like or enjoy or want to be governed by. Shit, that's a really big compliment. Yeah, look, that's the dream, I think, also, is to make something that when I die, it lives on. Do you know what I mean? That's, I'd probably say, one of my life goals.
You smashed it tonight, Raye.
Thank you.
I have to say, that was one of the best things I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Everybody, it was just the emotional impact of the show. It was just so sincere and heartfelt, which is kind of, I think the audience picked up on.
Thank you.
And it was pretty amazing. And then when I came off the stage and met you, as I said to you, like, I was a little starstruck. And I never get starstruck. You know, and as I said, I've had lunch with Paul McCartney.
Yeah, fucking
But I met you and I was like, oh my God, it's Raye. Because it's like, I'm a huge fan, and that's honestly from the heart. And
Thank you.
For everything you're doing musically, the album, I think, is a masterpiece.
Thank you.
And it's a wonderful piece of work. And everything that comes with the album and your whole journey so far, we've been interviewing people for the last 2 days.
Yeah.
And everybody has mentioned you and kind of what you've brought to the party as a musician. I think you'd be surprised at the impact that you've had, your whole journey and that kind of influence you've had. Are you aware of it at all?
I am... Well, I went to Thorpe Park the other day, which is like my favourite theme park ever. And usually I'm just at Thorpe Park, do you know what I mean? But then there was lots of kids like, can we take a picture and stuff like that? So maybe, but on those times I'm like, okay, that's an impact, do you know what I mean? Yeah, but other than that, I don't know. We kind of keep to ourselves. We'll keep in a little bubble, don't we, guys?
But with other musicians, I mean...
I think that's the biggest credit you can feel, though, isn't it? From your peers. And and like, having other musicians be like, I see what you're doing and I rate it. Like, for me, that's like a really big honour. Yeah.
But not only the music, but, the way you've been fighting for writers, getting a fair shake, royalty-wise.
Oh, yes.
And the producers as well.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people play the game and they don't want to, knock the nose out of the labels. Don't say anything, don't say anything. But you just came out and said it. And I think everybody was saying, like, well done. We need these kind of warriors in the music business.
Yeah.
And that's how I kind of see you, as this kind of warrior. Like, you're fighting the good fight. And people have kind of, not done that because they're always afraid of, you'll fall out with the label or you'll do this. And you didn't. You just went in there like Ray LaMotta in Raging Bull, and like took them all on. And I credit you for that. And thank you, from all the other writers I work with are really grateful for that. And then I think the audience picks up on what you're trying to do as a writer, because, this whole thing of reflecting back your experience, like the record, as I said, I think is a masterpiece. And that whole feeling of you reflecting back people's emotional state, you're saying to the audience, I understand you, you know what I mean? I felt what you're feeling. And I think that's maybe another reason, I feel anyway, why the record's been such a success. Is that fair to say?
I just think it's a really beautiful thing when you get to the root of it. It's just you're an artist who's able to share and be as transparent as you feel comfortable to be inside your music. And, I think that's probably where being independent has come to play, because now I'm completely in control of my career and I get to do that. So, I don't... and it's also one of those things, there are a lot of things out of your control as an artist. Like, most of it, you're out of control of how someone's going to perceive something. Once something's out there, you kind of have to just let it go and be like, well, whoever's going to connect to this will connect to it. But it's nice that hasn't been the goal. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
The goal's not been like, let's make hits. Like, I kind of hate that word.
Sure.
So, I think the creative process is kind of the opposite of that. It's like, let's make something we're proud of, something I love, and then also the way we translate it to stage, which most of the songs I feel like are quite different to the records on stage, or at least they're evolving there, and I love that as well. So, yeah, I think passion and art, by allowing, you know, art to be driven by art and not anything else. Yeah.
Well, you've got a fantastic band. The band were amazing.
The band, give it up for the band.
What a band, man. I mean, I have to say, it was like, as I said, it was like, you know, Vegas meets Metallica or something. It was, it was a huge sound.
No, that's like that's Rock Prada.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was just so emotional, and you know, and it's obviously you guys have this gang mentality already. You know, it's the gang. You know, you can already feel it.
That's my family.
And that's
Everyone in this
everything,
band, I love everybody who I get to share a stage with as well. You know, it's not like a brief exchange. Like, this is my. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's a lot of love on that stage. These guys have been playing with me. Some of these guys for like almost feels like half my life. Yeah, so that's important as well. Yeah. All right, Danny, take it somewhere else.
Getting back to the record, which, you know, my 20th Century Blues.
Yeah.
Like, when you made that record, did you realize how good it was? When you were halfway through it, did you think, oh my God, I've really created something incredible here? Or were you just in the process and just think, well, yeah, I love what I'm doing and let's hope it does well? And
I think it wasn't even, the record's formed over a long period of time, you know, like some of the songs are really old, but I've just loved them. And you know, there's a thing, you can make songs and then get bored of them. And then you're kind of like, oh, well, it's a fleeting moment. But I think with these songs, I love them all, and I've just loved them for ages. Songs like Oscar winning Tears and 5 Stars were like, you know, 5 or 6 years old, and I still love them. And I think that's also a nice thing when you just, something doesn't die in your heart, the love for it's still burning. So mainly it's a collection of songs I really love. I was also a little bit worried maybe about the diversity of the kind of different songs or how it would make sense putting it all in one body of work, but then kind of just embracing that and hoping that the through line could be the kind of story and the fact that, you know, hopefully when people listen, they get a chance to listen in order and take it in that way and stuff like that, really. But yeah, I'm really proud of it.
And it had a narrative thread through it. I mean, that's from listening to it today. In fact, I think, for me, my favourite tune is Mary Jane.
Oh, I love that song.
I love that tune, man. And the space in it, and it's so stripped back, and, you know, you're showing, you know, your true writing spirit for me in that tune, and there's nowhere to hide. You know what I mean? You're out there in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Oh, but I love the fact that you're bringing blues into it, and then you're bringing a little bit of rock, you're bringing soul into it, and there's obviously the gospel side of it as well on the record, which is just, it's just that fantastic, not only narratively, but musically, the evolution through the record. And I was saying to someone today, and again, not blowing smoke here, but it's like, I think it's a record people listen to in 100 years' time. It's one of those classic records that's going to be around forever, you know what I mean? And they only come and they go. And I think, you know, that piece of work is special, it's important.
Shit, that's a really big compliment. Yeah, look, that's the dream, I think, also, is to make something, and I don't know if I've created it yet, but to make something that when I die, it lives on. Do you know what I mean? That's, I'd probably say, one of my life goals. Yeah.
Well, I think if you're already there, but it's going to evolve even further because, again, going back to your gang, you got this amazing infrastructure around you. I know your dad manages you and your mum. So you've got that protective cone around you. And this is, I think, what often lacks with artists when they're moving into the future. There's all the funny business that goes on and the difficulties and challenges of being an artist. And even when touring is hard work, people don't, they don't really see that. But if you've got that infrastructure, you can concentrate on your music and not have to worry about all of that other stuff.
There's a lot of stuff. There is, but no, it's good. I love working with my family, both my chosen family and my real family. It's really, it makes it a lot more, I don't know, also safe, you know, people who actually have your back. I think it's, easy for people, like the music is a business. It's called the music business for a reason, isn't it? But that's the side of things that I just don't like or enjoy or want to be governed by. All right, let's do a little cool response. Sing, yeah, 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 yeah. Sing, da, 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 da. Sing, oh, ba, ba, ba. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sing, yeah. Sing, oh, yeah. Wait.
The other thing I noticed with the show today was like the gospel element in the like approach. You know what I mean? Because obviously your dad was the musical director, wasn't he, at the church
He
where you
was.
used to go and sing, and your mum was singing as well.
Yeah.
And I could feel that today, that kind of like nearly the gospel thing, you know.
I like that.
It was kind of all out there, that kind of cheerleading thing.
It's kind of, I guess, in my DNA, I guess, probably, even subconsciously. But I love that. Yeah, thank you.
I think, so I was watching my favourite singer is Aretha Franklin, besides you, Ray, of course.
No. Aretha is just...
I don't know if you've seen that, the documentary.
Her documentary is so
God.
powerful.
And it's like that whole backwards and forwards with the choir.
Yeah.
It's like extraordinary. And I think that's like with an audience, you know what I mean? It's the same thing. If you learn that from church, you know that backwards and forwards with you. Did you ever sing lead with the choir when you were younger?
Oh, look, I would sing anywhere I could. It was one of the first places that I started singing was in church, yeah, where they'd let me up there. And, also I think the beautiful thing with kind of gospel and those kind of, feelings and stuff like that is a lot of it is, it's just about passion and feeling. It's not necessarily about rehearsals and whatever. And then you have a group of talented musicians who can just move where you're moving and, and you just sing from the heart. So I think that's definitely bled into a lot of the way that I write and who I am as well, yeah.
You are something ever above you. To say I need the lyrics, I don't know them off by. I should know them, this is a classic, I should know them, why? Oh no, I don't, but I'll keep singing anyway because I have to. Oh my love, 1,000 kisses from you is never enough. And I just don't wanna stop. Never too much, never too much, never too much, never too.
So moving forward over the next year, is it going to be a lot of touring? Or are you going to still record and write? And do you just write when you want to, or do you put specific time aside for writing?
Yeah, do you know what? I'm one of those people, I'm all or nothing. So when we're on the road, I can't really write. But I'm excited we've got a lovely busy festival season. And then when we hit September, I'm going to take some time off and write. I've missed writing, like properly. I started at about 14 years old, like writing kind of full time when I wasn't at school. And then when I left school at 16, every day I was writing a song or 2 songs. It was like every day, trying to get my skills up and just creating very, very intensely. But yeah, we've been on the road for the last 2 years. I don't know, everyone's looking at me I'm like, guys, we've got another show. We've got another 10 shows. Last year we did about 130 something shows, which is nuts. But I can't write when I'm doing that. Do you know what I mean?
And people say they can write the right. I think it's nonsense. You're too distracted with everything that's going on.
It's distracting. Also, you need a lot of recovery time. Look, if I was a rapper, maybe it'd be different. Do you know what I mean? But the way that I love to sing at a show, I do like to go for it, which means I need... When we're on the road, when the shows are done, I'm like, good night, everyone. Bed. Yeah. 10 hours, 11 hours sleep, trying to recover. But yeah.
I was thinking today, Tooting. Where's Tooting? I live in London. I was like, where the hell is Tooting?
You've never been there?
Tooting Broadway. Where is it?
It's in South London.
I've never been to Tooting. It's like been all over London. Where is Tooting?
It's funny when you say Tooting to Americans, they just laugh at you because that means
Tooting.
Yeah, it means farting.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Tuning.
that.
I'm a child.
So touring for the next few months, and then September off, and then back touring again, and.
No, honestly, I want to write. I want to write and see where that takes me next. Yeah, but I do think it's important. You've got to live to write like honest records. No one wants to hear a song about hotel rooms and airports, and that's kind of been the vibe for the last year and a half. So I need to live a little bit as well. And
you're really first and foremost a writer, really, isn't that your? If you were to call yourself something, it'd probably be a writer, wouldn't it? Even though you're a fantastic performer and amazing singer, but.
Yeah, a writer. And do you know what though? The last 2 years of performing, I've just really fallen in love with it as well. So I like to be both, but I'm two very different. On stage, I'm like, yeah. And then in the studio, I'm like, hoodie on. Like.
I'm waiting for you, and it's been so long. I knew just what I'd do when I heard your song. Filled my heart with your bliss, gave me freedom.
So, like, obviously the record was a huge success, like 6 BRIT Awards and all the rest of it. Now, I know you're not, you're not a smug person, but when it kind of blew up like that, you must have felt a little smug, like, you know what? I did it my way. That's a quote Frank Sinatra, talking about the Brat Pack. But you did it your way and you proved the point. But it must have felt good. You must have smiled to yourself the odd time and thought, I've done it. Did you ever have that moment where, there was maybe a little bit of doubt earlier on, and I know the way the label were trying to get you to do one thing and you just rebelled and I'm doing it this way and that's how it's going to happen. And you did it. I mean, you made an incredible record. It must feel really great to kind of get to that point.
It feels so lovely. Do you know, even to be able to come to Prague for the first time and play to an audience of people who are like, I'm like, there's so many people here, this is crazy.
It's the first time you've been to Prague?
First time, and I love it.
Oh, you got to come back.
I really want to.
And you're going back tomorrow morning. It's a beautiful city.
It's stunning. It is so stunning.
They call it the Golden City.
Wow.
So if you're like going by the river at night, you look up towards the castle, it's golden.
Wow.
I mean, really, if you guys are driving back that way, go by the river. Get the driver to take you by the river.
Do you know what I feel like we've got to do? We've got to find some scooters and have a little scooter home. No, I'm being so serious. Mate, I've been scootering around the city all day, having the best time on my little Lime bike, on my little Lime scooter. It was amazing.
Oh, it's a place that's really addictive. I'm from London like you, but I came over here to do stuff and they just keep dragging me back. And I love it, it's like a little home from home now. And I think the beauty displays, that's the great thing about touring.
Yeah.
But you need to have a little time because otherwise
explore.
you just see the back of the venue, you never see anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you'll be writing the next record over the next year, or you'll just decide or whatever?
I think that's the thing. I'm so fortunate that I'm in a place that I get to, kind of decide. And so I really just want to let the music lead. And then also you got to give it a campaign, an album campaign. Like this last album campaign, we've been touring and promoting for a long time. So I've got to recharge as well and get ready to do that. But I'll let the art lead and see, when the songs come and when I feel like, okay. I think the second record, it's a sophomore album, right? It's the second one. That it has to be like, if it has to feel like this to me, it has to feel like, whoa. Do you know what I mean? I won't hand anything in that feels like a step back.
Yeah.
And I'll take a lot.
Yeah, I don't think it will, though. Because your voice is extraordinary. And it's always the songs and the voice. Everything else, of course, is very, very important. But I think once you've got that, you can go anywhere with this now and have fun.
It's exciting because I feel so much musical freedom. I'm excited to see what happens.
Amazing. Well, listen, thank you so much for doing this. It's like a dream for me.
Do you like my hat? Someone gave me a hat over there. I don't ever wear hats, but I actually really like this hat. I've worn it for the whole interview.
You're rocking that hat, man.
So good in this hat, mate. Some lovely girl. I can't remember her name. I need to remember. She made it herself.
And did she give it to you, or did you
She just gave me this hat. It's so nice, isn't it? Oh,
it's amazing. Well, listen, thank you for everything. Thank you for the music, darling, and thank you for fighting the good fight.
Thank you, Dan. And thank you to Danny on the keys. Make some noise, please.
Raye. The wonderful Raye. I'm besotted. I have to be honest.
I must be dreaming. I want it to be real. I need this feeling. I made my wish upon a star. Hope this night will last forever. Oh, 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 oh. Ain't nobody love me better. Makes me happy. Makes me feel this way. Ain't nobody love me better than you.
It's the bridge. And we're going to end it here before we embarrass ourselves on this camera drinking apple juice and rum. Cheers.
Thank you, everybody.
Prague Sessions. That one doesn't need to hear the light of day.
You and Raye and her incredible band, what can we say? Oh my God.